With the recent tragic news about Shane Warne and the alleged crash diet that may have contributed to his heart attack, we really wanted to address the topic of extreme dieting. Put simply, at midlife, you're playing Russian roulette with your health if you continue to crash diet. Crash diets may work for the very short term, but the stress they put on your body is incredibly dangerous.
It's time we all understood the long-term implications and found a new way to lose the extra pounds, nourish our body, and stay that way for life. In this episode, we offer a wake-up call and offer advice on how to live healthy and happy without the crash diets.
Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. We are back to edition. We're not an episode anymore. James
I thought
decided
I'd change it up this morning.
It's either an edition or an episode. We just never know what we're going to get with James. So welcome to another edition.
Listen, it's been a funny couple of weeks, hasn't it, Claire? It feels like ages since we did the last podcast.
Well, we had your flying solo one last week, all around testosterone, which was amazing. Had loads and loads of lovely feedback about that. And then we've been a bit poorly. You might hear that I've got a little bit of a snotty voice. I think I'm preferring to say that it sounds a bit sexy, but I'm not sure it does anymore.
Well, you've had your hair done and you look very lovely. Very
I have had my hair done. He was looking at me funny. I wondered what he was about to say. When you're recording this, you can't actually see how he's looking at me sometimes. And I never know what's going to come out of his mouth.
So this week, we're going to be talking all about crash diets and why they're a terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah, and actually the tragic news of Shane Warne. Still, I mean, it's only allegedly been out in the press, but allegedly he'd been on an extreme diet, kind of wanting to shed some pounds, and it might have contributed to his very, very early death. I mean, it was only, how old was he? 52. Absolutely shocking. What a lovely man as well.
Yeah. So we'll do that. But first, to update you, I think this is going to be our final podcast from Marbella, isn't it, Claire? Because we're travelling back.
Yes.
We are preparing for the epic journey. Well, for most people, it's not an epic journey, is it? They're like, oh, I've got a 2-hour flight back to the UK. But for us, with our fur baby Lola, we've got to pack up the house, pack the car, drive across the entirety of Spain, get the ferry for 26 hours.
From Santander. Well, it's not as long as last time. Last time was 2 days on the ferry, which we just don't mind.
It was great.
It was really fun. It's really fun. But we've been here 4.5 months now in Marbs, but really looking forward to getting back to London, actually, I have to say. Really, really excited about it. I mean, we love being in the sunshine here, although it hasn't been that sunny this winter, I have to say. But we just love London. I had one of my clients say to me the other day, why do you love London so much? I was like, there's just so much to do. And it's in my blood. And there's so much history and so much culture, so much variation. So looking forward to being a bit of a culture vulture when we get back.
We are. And we've got very exciting news. Drum roll.
The award.
We have won another award, so I think that is now 9 awards since 2019, which is awesome, and we're very grateful for those. But
amazing.
This one is the Prestige Awards, and we won Online Coaching Service of the Year. And they gave us really amazing feedback. Actually, they're saying they'd seen. I don't think we entered this one actually. Their judges just go off and look at people, and we get the feedback from the judges, and they basically said that. This is an area that it exploded during lockdown. Obviously, lots of people decided they were going to turn their hand to virtual coaching, online coaching, or just to be a coach if they stopped doing whatever else it was they were doing. They said they had lots of people they looked at, but actually once they scratched the surface, many of them, their offering wasn't that good. They weren't really backed with qualifications. They weren't backed by science. And they found that us were really strong, and they're also really impressed with how we've kept going, built a community around us, made information accessible over the last year plus. So it was really nice to hear that, not just to be like, oh, you've got an award, but the reasoning for it. So it was really lovely. So yeah, we're online coaching service of the year by the Prestige Awards, which is amazing.
I know, but I didn't realise. James is one of the arrows that James fires off. He's a Sagittarius, so he fires off lots of arrows. And it's one of the arrows that he fired off, and actually didn't realise how big they are. They've got them all over the world.
Yeah. I think we're being invited to an event in the summertime.
Does that mean I have to get out of Lycra? Do I have to actually get dressed up? I don't like it. I don't like wearing heels. I only like wearing wedges. Wedges as far as I go.
So, of course, if you are listening to this and you haven't discovered our coaching services yet, why not get in touch with us, drop us a line, because we do get amazing results for our clients time and time again, because we come from the whole aspect of behaviour coaching and belief change. It's not just about movement and nutrition. That's a big part of it, but it's about shifting those limiting beliefs. And we have multiple awards for our work now. So
yeah, and it's funny actually that people say scratching behind the surface of coaches. Like even more so now. I mean, I'm finding social media quite unbearable at the moment. I just keep getting bombarded with all these ads and all these emails. Oh, I'm a coach. I can help you do this. I can help you do that. And, you actually look behind the surface at what qualifications they've got and what kind of business they've got. And they're not even qualified to be talking about this sort of stuff. And it's all
scary.
smoke. It's all smoke and mirrors. I was saying this to a friend the other day. So many people say, oh, I'm this coach, I'm that coach, and I'm this coach. I'm like, what experience do you have? What qualifications do you have to be going out in the world and fooling people to part with their money, time, energy, and money when you haven't actually figured this out yourself? Like, this is something you haven't even figured out yourself. It's one of my bugbears. So you just literally caught on something then that I wanted to have a rant about. Thanks.
The rant. And we're going to move on to a rant now, which is the rant around crash diets. Now, we see this a lot, because obviously we are working with people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. They've got a lifetime experience behind them. Many of them have, unfortunately, fallen prey to the fad diets that are out there.
We all have.
I get it. The diet industry really kicked off massively, I guess, in the 70s, didn't it? And we've been exposed to so many diet fads, diet books since then.
Slim Fast. That's what my mum grew up on.
Slim Fast, the Atkins diet.
That's what I grew up on watching my mum.
The white wine diet. I don't know. There's been so many. But you'll know, if you're regular listeners, that we just totally do not believe or support in any way all these fad diets. And actually, when we were doing this off the back of the news, tragic news about Shane Warne, and we were looking at again at like telling people why crash dieting is a really bad idea. We remembered that just a few weeks ago we actually didn't do a podcast, we did a Facebook Live on the Max Mosley Fast 800 Keto book that he's now brought out.
So it was Fast 800, wasn't it?
It was Fast 800.
What he's done
now he's
recently,
tagged keto onto the end.
Now what he's recently done is add keto in but I think he's really behind the curve on this. I'm thinking, why are you adding keto to your book now when people have been banging on about keto forever? I mean, one of our first podcasts ever was what I say no to keto. Now he's brought this out because obviously he thinks it's still fashionable. Literally cannot stand this diet. Absolutely, literally cannot stand it.
It's really bad. So we did a whole live on why this diet was so bad. We're going to cover some of the reasons why it's so bad. But also get this, right? That book that he brought out a book a year ago, the Fast 800. If it's so great and it works, why does he need a second book basically re-explaining it only 1 year later? Which is how the diet industry works.
Adding a massively low carb element to it. Well, no carb, that's what keto is, basically putting your body into ketosis, which is actually incredibly damaging over the long term.
Right, so let's look. What is a crash diet? So typically, they'll be reducing your calories somewhere in the 600 to 800 calorie a day range, which is way too low. Listen, I get it, right? I get it. You don't like what you see in the mirror. You've got that thing coming up, maybe the holiday, maybe the black tie gala, maybe the birthday, maybe the wedding, the party. You're like, I need to lose loads of weight really fast. This is 100% not the way to do it for all the reasons I'm about to explain to you. Like, I get the drive for it, right? No one wants to think I've got to spend a long time shifting this weight off. It's going to be this long process. It'd be like, if I can click my fingers and make it go just by going through short-term pain now, great. But here's the thing, right? When you do a crash diet, it's not just about the short-term pain. It's about the damage that you are doing to your body.
And I've done this before. I think most people that I know, especially us women, we've done the crash diets, and it's really, really hard to put yourself in that frame of mind when you've got that weight to lose and those pounds to lose. You do know that the crash dieting works. So let's just be honest, right? The crash dieting works, right? Physically, you can see a change in your body, but it's not working for the long term, and it's not working for your mind, your body, and your soul. It is incredibly, incredibly damaging. And at midlife, we cannot get away, particularly at midlife, we can't get away with doing this to our body anymore, because our body actually can't handle, we're going to go into why, our body can't handle the pressure and the stress you're actually putting on it when you go into these massively low calorie, low restricted diets. It's just, we can't do it anymore. So actually playing it forward is really, really important, because it is appealing to think, oh, I can just get rid of that. I know it works. I did this diet before. I did the grape juice diet once before and it really worked. Well, here's the thing. It does work, but for the long term, it's really damaging and really, really bad for your health, and you can't get away with it.
No, so let's just look at the actual, if you like, the mathematics around it. So obviously, every individual has their own calorie needs. So we're going to tell you like how you check your own a little bit later on. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, the average moderately active woman is probably going to need somewhere in the 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day range to stay as they are. This is not weight loss, by the way. Stay as they are. A man, the same, an average sized man, is probably going to need like 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. You can see straight away there's a big difference between a man and a woman. And obviously, your build, your physical activity levels are all already going to have a big influence on how many calories you need. So just going a one-size-fits-all 800 calories or less, obviously for a man or an active man, that is going to be a massive, massive, massive deficit. Even for a woman who runs, it's like half the calories a day you need. Now, what's the problem with that? Everyone's like, oh, if you have less calories, you'll lose weight. Yes, you will, but you're going to be low on overall energy coming in, so you're not actually fulfilling your energy needs. It's going to be low in all your macros. So, not only is it low in calories, you're not getting the right kind of macronutrients, you're not getting enough protein, and it's going to be low in your micronutrients. You're not getting the fibre, you're not getting the little vitamins and minerals that you need either. So that leads straight away to an energy depletion situation. Now you might be saying, well, that's good, right? Because I want to lose weight. So if I'm depleting energy, I'll lose weight. Yes, you will lose weight, but it's the wrong kind of way. And also think now we need things like protein, we need our nutrients, we need those vitamins and minerals in our system. If we're depriving ourselves of those, then we're already storing up trouble. We can see that.
Well, this is about not being mean to your body anymore, right? And actually switching. We can't mess around with our body anymore. And actually having a beautiful relationship with our body is way more important as we age than ever before. And a majority of us would have had a really bad relationship with food and our body. Especially, I know I keep saying, but especially us women, right? And now it's about actually understanding what's really going on underneath the bonnet. It's not just about what you're getting to look like in that slinky dress for that gala. It's about maintaining a healthy way of living so that you can have a happy, fulfilled life for longer. And all these crash diets are actually just going to mitigate that for some of the other reasons that we're going to talk about in a second. But one of the things I would say as well, when you lose weight too fast, you're going to lose muscle mass.
Well, let's jump on that fact. Okay, right, everyone's obsessed with this metric of weight, right, Claire? It's the wrong metric. Yes, if we're overweight, overwhelming our weight down, but actually, when we're talking about weight, all everyone really wants to bring down is their body fat. No one's like, oh, I need to carry less muscle. It's fat you want to get rid of. So, and as Claire was about to say there, when we go on a super low calorie diet.
Yeah, and also the muscle is what makes us look leaner. It's actually when we've got more muscle, when we just drop weight, our body shape a lot of the time doesn't really change very much. I mean, I was really, I used to see this all the time. I used to do loads of cardio and actually wonder why my body shape didn't change. But we want muscle. We need muscle in order to look different, to look sexier in that dress, to look more defined. So as we diet, we actually end up losing muscle mass. And as we are aging, we're losing muscle mass anyway. So what we want to do is keep maintaining that muscle mass, because that muscle is metabolically active. So when we lose muscle, we start to slow down our metabolism, which is the opposite of what we want. So you're going to get that quick fix, right? You're going to get that quick fix, but your metabolism would have come right the way down because you are actually losing muscle mass.
And not only are you losing muscle mass, you're not going to have the energy to exercise intensity, which is the other side of the energy equation. Everyone's just so obsessed with the diet part. But listen, a healthy approach to losing body fat is reducing the amount you're putting in and moving more. But if you're going to like such a big deficit, you won't have the energy. So let's recap. You're losing your muscle mass. Your muscles are breaking down to fuel the body. Basically, our bodies run off glucose and glycogen energy or fat energy. We switch between the two. But if there isn't enough glucose and glycogen, not only will we start to burn fat, we'll start to break down other tissues as well, like muscles and internal organs, which we'll come on to in a moment. Oh, my
goodness. And this potentially is what they are saying might have happened to Shane.
Yeah. Also, there's a process that the body goes through called adaptive thermogenesis. Basically, your body self-regulates. So if there's less calories coming in, it will start to reduce, irrespective of your muscle mass loss, it will start to reduce your metabolic rate anyway to compensate for the perceived lack of energy available for the body. So over time, and over a short space of time, if you're severely restricting your calories, your body's going to self-regulate your metabolism down.
Yeah.
So this is no surprise here, right? You've lost muscle mass, which is metabolically active. Your body's self-regulated your metabolism down to cope with the fact that there's less energy coming in. So what happens? You've crash dieted for like 3-4 weeks. You've lost loads of weight. You feel terrible, by the way. You probably look terrible as well. You start to eat, in inverted commas, normally again. Guess what happens? You balloon, because the body's now like, energy incoming. I've been really deprived. Let's prioritise storing this as fast available energy, i.e. fat.
Yeah, because I don't know when are you going to do this again? That's what your body's going to say. Are you going to do this again? Are you going to do this to me again? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preserve that energy because you might do it to me again, and I might be in starvation mode, basically, in survival mode. Yeah. Another thing I would say as well is around osteoporosis. So if you're really low on macronutrients and micronutrients, us women, as we're aging, osteoporosis is a major issue for us. Menopausal and post-menopause, it's a really big issue. And if you're not getting enough micronutrients and enough macros to serve your body well and keep those bones strong, you're going to be in serious trouble. So another reason not to crash diet, especially at midlife, is because your body, you're just doing yourself absolutely no good at all.
No, and we do see this all the time. So we work with a lot of clients, and we do see clients that present that have done 20 years, say, of yo-yo dieting, crash, weight gain, crash, weight gain, crash, weight gain. It's not undoable, but it genuinely takes them so much longer to get the results they're looking for because their metabolism just doesn't seem to know if it's coming or going.
Well, also they've weakened their immune system. So let's not just think about this. We're weakening our immune system. We're weakening our bone density. We're weakening our body. And sometimes, we will see clients, little cough, we will still see clients that, might actually be coming to us with more injury. Yeah. And again, you can't just deny that could also be part of their crash dieting. They're coming with injuries, and it, like James said, it's not undoable, but people need to be patient and completely switch their mind. This is why we always say about behaviour change and mindset change and actually starting to look at your body in a very different way and start nurturing and nourishing your body, because that's what nutrition is. It's about nourishment. It's not about starvation.
Exactly. So we covered there kind of like a lot of the physical aspects, but like what about the actual, what's going on inside? So
this is the most important thing.
There is evidence that extreme weight loss is dangerous for those with existing heart conditions. So Oxford University did a study in 2018, and they had obese subjects on a 600 to 800 calorie a day diet. No surprise, they noticed in the first week the subjects lost significant total body fat, they improved their insulin sensitivity, they lowered cholesterol and blood pressure. But here's the surprising fact, their heart fat content shot up 44% in 7 days, leading to a deterioration in heart function. Basically, it's putting such a massive stress on the body. What's happening is, with that amount of calorie restrictions, your body starts breaking down other tissues, i.e. muscles, i.e. heart tissue, i.e. liver tissue, and fat moves around the body. So it's like moving to the organs instead, obviously increasing your risk of complications there.
Yeah, and also let's not ignore the gut. Right, so our gut is termed as our second brain. There's a huge link. We've got most of our serotonin in our gut, our neurotransmitters. So there's a huge link between how we feel ourselves and how we feel, right? So not only are you crash dieting, making yourself miserable, your gut's feeling that as well. Your gut is feeling that, but it also really upsets the gut biomes as well in the body. And constantly crash dieting, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing to your gut. You're massively inflaming it. And leading things to IBS. I mean, I know that I did that to myself when I was always crash dieting.
Constipation as well as a really common side
constipation. really bloated, so lots of wind, lots of, really, really uncomfortable, and IBS, because I was creating so much stress on the body. And also I wasn't eating for hours and hours and hours and hours on end. So again, you're creating all this kind of, these digestive issues within yourself. Again, we don't want that. My goodness. It just, it's crazy. I mean, I'm so glad and so relieved that for me, understanding what was really, really going on within my body, and even the things that James have just said, right? The stress you're putting on your body and your major organs. I'm so glad that in the end, I had a bit of kind of a sense check about what was really going on the inside. I might have felt like I looked absolutely horrendous. I know that looking back now. I looked at a photo the other day, didn't I, James, of what I looked like.
Nice.
And my goodness, just so skinny. And I didn't look good, but what I didn't know was what I was doing internally to myself.
No. And this is what's going on, right? So, the internal organs, your gut biomes, also your cognition, right? If you've ever crash dieted, you might find you have trouble focusing, thinking. Again, our brains run off carbohydrate energy. And if they're severely restricted, because overall restricting everything, all that can suffer as well, cognition. Then there's the emotional side. So you can't do that again
at work.
No.
How can you perform well at work? If you're a career person, again, just think about the fact that you're not even going to be able to concentrate and do your job properly. If you're on an 800 calorie diet or lower, I can promise you won't be optimizing your results at work at all, or in your business.
So we go to recap. We understand the emotional drivers to want to lose body fat really quickly. But this is totally not the way to do it. Not only is it going to not work over the long term, you're actually putting yourself at risk, because there is evidence out there from various studies that show crash dieting puts this massive strain on the body, on the internal organs, and can lead to complications.
And this is why it's so important. The work that we do, it is beautiful work, because it actually starts looking at the root cause of the relationship you have with your food and your body as well. So it's so much about mindset and behaviour change and actually supporting those people and actually understanding them and making them feel not alone, because so many of us, I say a majority of us, have slightly icky relationship with food at some point.
So how should you lose your body fat? How should you do it? Well, if you're not going to crash diet,
mindset. Mindset.
Well, we always say to people, look, it's not like you put all that weight on in like 2 weeks, right? But so why do you expect to lose it all in 2 weeks?
Because we're in a quick fix society.
Need to be patient with it.
We're in a quick fix society. That's why, and you see everywhere. Oh, do this diet and you'll lose X amount of pounds in 2 weeks. I mean, it's completely understandable, and we want to reach out to you and say,
influencer videos. It's like do this 10-minute workout 3 times a week and you'll get rid of your belly. Not really.
It just doesn't work, guys. You have to be in it for the long term, and you have to be consistent with this.
Okay, so we're going to recap. If you've listened to other podcasts, you'll know this. But what you need to do is work out your daily calorie needs. So you go online, Google calorie calculator, right? You'll get to input things like your gender, your age, your activity levels, etc., and it'll give you an idea of how many calories you burn in a day. Now, obviously, if you were to eat those amount of calories every day, you're going to stay as you are. If you're looking to drop body fat, you want to create a deficit of around 500 calories a day. So just take 500 off that number. And
people are going to go, oh my goodness, 500's loads. 500's loads. I can't eat 500 calories less. But
it's not. Remember,
it's not.
There are two sides to the energy equation. There's the input and the output. So what we suggest you do, because of all the amazing benefits of exercise, is...
move your butt.
Yeah, move your butt. Look to reduce your calories by 250, 300 coming in every day, and then just move for another 250, 300. There you go. That's a 500, 600 calorie deficit. Easily done. That should lead for most people to around 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss per week.
Don't just do the diet. Guys, please start moving your body. The health benefits, the mental benefits as well of moving your body. Just get outside.
Now, if you're in your 40s, 50s or 60s and you're see what you're thinking, I want to lose weight, I want to do this. So that is how you do it. Create that kind of deficit. Now, for the exercise component, we always say do what you love. Don't underestimate what we call non-exercise activity thermogenesis, i.e. moving around on exercise. But you must resistance train. Here's the thing. At midlife, we're losing our muscle mass anyway. Our bones are getting less dense anyway. Resistance training helps preserve your muscle mass, so helps keep your metabolic rate high, makes you look better, and it helps preserve your bone density, and it's empowering. And there's lots of studies will show it really helps with your brain health as well. So that's what you should be doing. Mixing up Small amounts of intense cardio, small amounts of resistance training, adequate recovery, creating that deficit. Go lower carb.
And higher protein. So the lovely lady that did my hair yesterday here in Marbella, I was giving her lots of advice. She's a midlifer. And I was giving her loads and loads of advice. So much so that when she cut my hair a few weeks ago, she actually gave me a free haircut. Amazing. She was like, the advice was so amazing. So anyway, in a few weeks, she actually hasn't, because she can't exercise at the moment. So she's been for walks and everything, but as she hasn't done some of the other stuff that I prescribed, like the HIIT and the resistance training, just because she actually can't physically at the moment. But guess what she's done? She's looked at her diet. She's cut out highly processed foods. She's gone a little bit lower carb. But the thing that she said is, I'm eating loads more protein. I'm feeling fuller for longer. So I'm not picking at, bits and pieces during my main meals. She looks unbelievable. This was only about 5 weeks ago that I gave her these hits, and I gave her kind of like some advice and some of the stuff that we take people through on the Midlife Method, and yeah, amazing. So there we are, just some of these things. You don't feel overwhelmed. You don't have to go, hell for leather on all of these things. One thing is, just stop crash dieting, midlifers. All of you, but midlifers especially, you are really playing Russian roulette with your health, massively. Yeah. So there we are.
We hope you found that useful. As always, we'd love it if you could share, leave us a lovely review. And if you feel you'd like some help with behaviour change, belief change, coaching, reach out to us. We're here for you.
Absolutely. And we will be recording this probably from London. Next time.
Bon voyage.
Wish us luck, won't you? We're sending you lots and lots and lots of love. And like James said, do reach out to us. If you ever have a topic also that you want us to talk about and dive into more and think, I'd love them to answer that question on a podcast, please do. Please reach out to us. So we are team@themidlifementors.com. Just pop us a little message and we'd love to hear from you. And we're sending you so much love. You take care.
Take care, bye. Mwah.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.